What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video we have the sensational claim posted by transfer expert Ian McGarry in the Daily Express that Liverpool are interested in signing Ramsey from Arsenal. He only has 1 year left on his contract, so if Arsenal don't sell him now, they will lose him on a free transfer next summer. Or Ramsey could do an Alexis Sanchez and move in January for just a fraction of what it's worth. And already I think Ramsey, who is 27 years old, could be available for a cut price deal. We don't know yet what kind of transfer fee he would command, but let me know guys, what do you think about this transfer news? Would Ramsey be a good squad player or a good starting 11 player for Liverpool? I'm not even sure that he would start in place of who, maybe in place of like Henderson or Fabinho. I certainly think that we will start with Henderson, Nabil Keita, and then depending on the opposition we could get Fabinho or Milner or Wijnaldum or Lallana. What Ramsey brings is more goals from midfield, and I certainly wouldn't be against this transfer, because if you look at Ramsey's career statistics, he scored 58 goals for Arsenal already in 327 appearances, and he had one of his best goal scoring seasons for Arsenal. He scored 11 goals from midfield for Arsenal, and I think that's Liverpool is lacking goals from midfield. So transfer expert Ian McGarry is saying this in the Daily Express. There is a little bit of interest from Liverpool in Ramsey, I understand. I think there's no vacancy at Liverpool right now following the arrival of Fabinho and Nabil Keita, but Ramsey would certainly be a very good addition to Jurgen Klopp's squad as a creative box-to-box midfielder. And just to add my comment, another former Arsenal player, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, is out injured for the whole season, so I still feel that Liverpool need one more player who can add more goals from midfield and who can add to the numbers. And I think if Liverpool suffer the same injury crisis that we suffered at the end of last season, Liverpool will be in trouble. And I really want Liverpool to go for the Premier League title, so I will take every help that we can get. And Ramsey, who is a very experienced player, I think he would be interested in moving to Liverpool, because Arsenal are for the second year in a row in the Europa League outside of the Champions League, and Liverpool are on an upwards trajectory. You can't argue with that. On the other hand, there is a lot of uncertainty with Arsenal. They didn't make a lot of like amazing signings. They signed Leno, Lichtenen, Socrates, Lucas Torreira and Matteo Guendouzi, but those players, like, they are not like world-class players in their position. They are good players, but they are not like signings that you scream Arsenal who are going to get into the top 4. So I think Ramsey could be tempted with a decent offer, and I think it's better to sign him right now, because next summer, even though he would be available on a free transfer, there is no such thing as a free transfer anymore, because the transfer fee that we would be paying for Arsenal right now, you will be paying to Ramsey himself next summer. So let me know guys, I'm really looking forward to reading your comments. Would Ramsey be a good signing for Liverpool? I certainly think he would. I mean, maybe he will not start like every game, but Jurgen Klopp needs to rotate. We know that. We will be going hard in 4 competitions, and I still think, even though I'm so happy with the transfer window, I rate it an 8 out of a 10 rating, I still feel that one more player, an attacking midfielder, would be like a 9.5 out of the 10 transfer window. And Ian McGarry says this: so Ramsey is taking time, and quite rightly, to weigh up his options. I don't think he's particularly worried about moving, on deadline day, because as of January he can sign a pre-contract with any club outside of England, as Emre Can did with Juventus, and move next summer for free when the fee that would be demanded for him right now, which could be 35 to 40 million. That's the problem. Is Ramsey worth 35 million pounds? I think he is. I mean, he scores more goals than Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's not as dynamic as him, but he's a very, very good player. And Ian McGarry is saying that the transfer fee, or part of the transfer fee, would be paid to him in wages as a signing on bonus, as a signing on fee next summer if Liverpool were to sign Aaron Ramsey on a free transfer. And he says this: to me, Ramsey is again one of the few candidates of British players who would happily go abroad and ply his trade and learn the language and fit in and be a success. So his options are not purely limited to the Premier League. I think it would be a big loss to Unai Emery and Arsenal, but at the same time I get the feeling that from Emery that he is not one to stand on tradition and culture. We saw the way Jack Wilshere, someone who had been endlessly indulged with contracts despite the way he recovered from injuries. We saw the way Emery was quite cold in telling Jack Wilshere, you might be a substitute this season, you are not playing. And lo and behold, Jack Wilshere went to West Ham and he will probably play every week there. It's not come to that situation with Ramsey yet. He's not been told he won't be a starting player. But Unai Emery, the Arsenal manager, was actually asked on Aaron Ramsey's future, and he said this, listen to this, and I quote Unai Emery here: I don't know, this is one question for the club and for the player. I am very concentrated, and my focus is thinking every day for the training, for the players, for the match on Saturday against Lazio, and then starting against Manchester City. Ramsey is with us right now. The contract is a question for the club and the player. My opinion is clear. I want him to be with us. He's the type of player I want in this team, but the contract is one thing only for the club and the players. So this shows that even Unai Emery is not sure that Aaron Ramsey will stay at Arsenal or leave him and Arsenal. And Unai Emery is more of a coach than a manager. He's not really responsible for dealing with the player's contract. So it's certainly possible that Aaron Ramsey doesn't want to extend his contract. He has been at Arsenal pretty much all his life. He was at Cardiff for like one season in the Championship in 2007-2008, but then he was picked up by Arsenal and he has been an ever-present, really. He had a couple of really big injuries in the early parts of his career, but thankfully he recovered from those, and since like 2011 he has played minimum 30 games every season. In some seasons he had 47 or even like 44 or 40 games, and he's also Wales international, so he has some international experiences. He actually played 53 times for the Wales national team, scoring 13 goals. So Aaron Ramsey is certainly a goal-scoring midfielder who can score, who can assist, and I think Arsenal's playing style, even though in the past 2 or 3 years it has gone a little bit downhill, it's not that not that different from the Liverpool playing style. They usually are on the front foot and attacking, and yes, they don't counter press or high press as frequently and as intensely as Liverpool does. But I think Aaron Ramsey would certainly be a useful player, and he would fit into Klopp's playing style. I think Aaron Ramsey is still at the peak of his career. He's 27 years old. So the next like 5 years, Aaron Ramsey could still be a really good addition to Liverpool. And I think if he's available, if he's on the market for a reasonable price, like 30-35 million, I think Liverpool could sign him. We could get about 45 million pounds combined for selling Danny Ings and Divock Origi. So that in itself, and the both players' wages, could just pay for the whole Aaron Ramsey transfer and Aaron Ramsey's wages. So come on, Liverpool, sign him off. If there is a possibility, I really hope that Liverpool go for him, because as I said, he had some really good goal scoring seasons. I think his best season was the 2013-14 season, where he scored 16 goals in one season for Arsenal, but he had other seasons where he scored 10 goals, and last season he scored 11 goals. So those are very very good numbers, and especially in the Premier League. Our Ramsey only played 22 Premier League games because of injury, but he scored 7 goals in those 22 Premier League games, so that's very impressive. And I wanted to read a hilarious interview that just came out with James Milner about the time that he was told that he has to play fullback for Liverpool. He says this in an interview: I think the first time I had to play at left back was at Man United in the Europa League. Alberto Moreno was injured and the manager gave me a choice. Did I want to play at left back or right back? My answer was, and listen to this, I find this hilarious. That's like asking which one of these guys do you want to spend a night with your missus. His English wasn't that good then, so I think it went over his head. So Jurgen Klopp didn't really understand, but James Milner was saying that's like, you know, choosing between which guy to let your wife sleep with. That's a hilarious answer by James Milner. And I read recently an article on Sky Sports about Naby Keita and Fabinho and what they could bring to Liverpool and to Liverpool's midfield in particular, and I was pretty surprised by what I found. Because actually, if you compare the midfielders at Liverpool and Keita and Fabinho, in terms of big chances, big goal-scoring chances created last season, Naby Keita had 8 and Fabinho had 7 big chances, and that's way more than all the other Liverpool midfielders. Milner had 5, Henderson had 2, and Wijnaldum only created 1 big chance. So in terms of these numbers, it's a big improvement. Also, total through balls in the 2017-18 season, Naby Keita has 12, Fabinho has 8. On the other hand, Milner has only 7, just like Henderson, and Wijnaldum has only 2. So it shows that both Naby Keita and even Fabinho, who is an out-and-out defensive midfielder, actually made more through balls. Yes, I know that they played in a little bit weaker league, so you have to take that into consideration as well. But these numbers certainly encourage me, and they actually get me really excited about the new season. So far I rate Liverpool's transfer window an 8, and since I started following Liverpool, this is actually the best transfer window by far. And if we were to sign either Nabil, Fekir, Ramsey, or somebody else, another attacking midfielder who could add about 10, maybe 15 goals from midfield, I would rate Liverpool's transfer window as almost the perfect 10, like 9, 9.5. And I can't really complain. I just want what's best for my beloved Liverpool, and that is, you know, I want Liverpool to be as strong as possible. I want us to go for the league title, to win either the FA Cup or the League Cup or any trophy, Premier League, Champions League. I would take any trophy at this point. And I think an attacking midfielder would be a very important addition to this Liverpool team. But I can't complain. We spent 175 million, and many rival fans are crying about that, like, why are Liverpool spending so much money suddenly? They seem to forget that we get 142 million pounds for Coutinho, and also we got to the Champions League final, which is another 70 million pounds in the, you know, club's budget. So I think what Liverpool need to do is maybe try to sign Ramsey or Fekir in the last few days, and also move on some players. Sell Mignolet or Karius, either of them. Really, we shouldn't you know, keep both of them, because one of them will be in the reserves and they are just too good to be in the reserves. And also we should sell Danny Ings, Divock Origi, or maybe loan out Origi and just give him one more chance to see whether he can fulfill his potential. And I really hope that we can keep Sturridge fit for the majority of the season, because that would be a massive addition. And by far Liverpool had the most successful transfer window so far, but there is still like 5 days left, 6 days left of the transfer window, so I'm still wary of other clubs and what they might do. I think Man United and Chelsea are desperately want to sign players. Tottenham still haven't made even one transfer, so I think they will make some moves in this last week of the transfer window. So I will do a Premier League predictions video just a few days before the season starts, just to see what kind of transfers the other clubs make. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.